all here? Okay. Good morning. Thank you for showing up. Basically, as you all know, we have sent you out an email with 2 photos in it. We would like you to put both those photos in those when you talk about this case. We want the original photo that was put out earlier, and we also want the composite photo. So please, when you're putting out your information, we would like all that on there, please. Introduce a few people that are standing behind me before we get started here. You got Lieutenant Tom McKee from the Indiana State Police Post at Lafayette, Tony Liggett, sorry, from the Delphi, Carroll County Sheriff's Department. I'll get this right here in a minute. Kevin Hammond from the Carroll County Sheriff's Department, Jerry Holman from the Indiana State Police Detectives out of the Lafayette State Police Post, and Tony Slocum, he's a Public Information Officer out of the Peru Post. We're here to talk a little bit about the release that was put out. So I'm just basically going to open it up to questions. I will tell you now that most of the information that you have in the news release is about all that can be released at this time. So there's not going to be anything else real exciting, I guess would be the word, that's going to be put out there. But I'll be more than happy to take questions, and we'll go from there.
How did artists develop this sketch? Was the sketch made with the help of eyewitness or eyewitnesses, or was it made solely from the other picture we've seen so often?
Basically, I can't really answer that question completely. I can tell you it came from the investigation itself, from officers looking into things, to tips and leads that come in, that people that have come forward, we've got information from there, and the composite was put together with that information.
Why release the sketch today? Did it just get finished? Have other people already seen this, including the family? Now it's just the right time to release it?
This picture was released at this time because that's when we felt that it needed to come out. The information needs to be put forward, and we wanted to get it out there so people can look at it. And it has, again, it has just taken a while to get this thing put together, and that's why it's taken so long to get the picture out.
In the realm of evidence and leads that you have, how big is this photograph? How much are you counting on this artist sketch or the photograph of the sketch?
I mean, it's like anything else in a case. Anytime we get something new or some information out there, we always feel it's important to the case. We feel this is very important because it actually gives a better view of the person in the picture that you see down below. It shows a little more facial features, gives you a little more information on what's we're looking at, who the suspect might be, and that's why we feel it is very important that this picture's out there at this time.
What's so striking about this? What is the thing that investigators look at and say, wow, that's the thing that's going to make this guy stand out from all the other men walking around?
It's basically just a clear picture of his face compared to what you saw down below. We've got the information out there, the picture's out there. Now we got this composite that we feel that is the same. We feel it is the same person, and we just want to make sure that people realize that that picture is this person, we're hoping, and that they can get that picture and take that picture and get us some information on a possible suspect.
How confident are you that is accurate?
We're pretty confident. The information that was received, with that information, we've been able to put that together. Again, this thing wasn't drawn up overnight. We've been working with this picture and with the suspects that the witnesses that we have that would put this together. So it's not something that we did overnight. This has taken a while to put together.
Those witnesses, did they see them in the area, or did they call the tip line with that information?
I really can't go into that because we don't want to compromise the case itself.
But when you say witnesses, so multiple people were able to help you out with this?
There was people that were able to help us out with this, yes.
So a lot of people will say you guys are releasing this now because you've run out of leads. That's not true in this case, right?
No, we're still getting anywhere from 5 to 10 tips a day. We're still getting emails, so it's not something that is just, this case is not dried up. It's not a cold case. This case is still very active.
If you didn't have those tips, we may never have seen this picture in the first place, right?
The possibility, yes.
What's the attitude of the troops working on this? I mean, the fact that there's a composite that's infinitely clearer than the picture we've been looking at. I mean, what's the mood? What is the feeling among investigators who've been grinding away at this for 5 months now?
Well, anytime you get new information, officers are always excited about that information. It kind of builds up their confidence on the case itself. With this information here, we're really, it really excites them, lets them know that, people are still caring about this case, that people are still interested, and when we can get somebody to come forward with more information, if we can get a name or at least a location of this subject, that would be great. But officers have never really gotten down on this case. I think they've frustrated maybe, but as far as solving this thing, it's something that's we've always felt like we were going to solve this case.
Who made the sketch? ISP? Did you guys bring somebody specific in here to talk to those witnesses to come up with the exact look of this person? Or how does it
It's
work?
basically just been a accumulation of all the departments have come together, and we've put this composite together.
Now in the release you talk about not to focus on the hat. It might not be accurate. Can you talk a little bit about that so people at home know why?
Well, if you see the original picture down below, it appears that he's got a hat on that's got the flaps down over the kind of down over the face. We want to make sure that you focus on the picture. We want to make sure the face is what you're looking at, and not to worry about the hat. Even though that hat is not quite the same as the one in the picture, we want the facial features is what we want you to look at.
If someone did recognize this person, what should they do?
They can call they can call the tip line, or they can email us.
In the release, you mentioned some of exactly like his hair color and things like that. Can you talk about that information that you put in the release right now?
Basically, the hair color is a reddish brown. She was, or the person was not clear on the color of the eyes, but the person said it was definitely not blue. She was the person was very obvious that it was not blue eyes, but they did mention that they were not clear on which color it was.
So there are people out there who are sure that they saw this guy walking around that day and they helped you out. Is that fair to say? Okay.
Pretty much that's what it is, yes.
Okay.
Those people come forward right away, or did it take a little bit of time for those people to come forward?
It's been a while. It took a little bit. People are scared, or afraid to be recognized by the subject. So it just takes a while for these things to happen. Like I said, the picture didn't come overnight. We've been working on this for a while.
Do you think this guy is still around the Delphi area? Do you think he's in a different state?
That's what I hope this is all about.
We've heard many times that somebody out there probably knows something and is really driving home the point today to make sure you call, no matter how little it may be, even especially if you recognize this person.
That's what we want. We want people to call in, give us information. Anybody that can give us an identification on this subject or knows where the subject might be, that would be great. We would appreciate any information we can get.
So still have that voice. Now you have an even closer up picture, and you have this other. So 3 really pieces of solid evidence that you have that people can work with. So that's got to be big development today for the community and for the
That is
family.
correct. We're really excited about the information that's being put out there. The detectives and all the investigators who are involved are just basically waiting for the phone rings.
Will any more information or video be released from the cell phone that Libby had that day?
I'm not going to comment on that. I don't want to compromise that case.
Just to be clear, do you know this man's identity and you're not releasing it, or you don't know this guy's identity?
We want to know who he is.
Okay.
Do you think someone in Carroll County, and I know you said that's the point of today, but do you think somebody around this area knows who he is and will possibly call in?
We're hoping somebody knows from wherever. We don't care where it's from. We just want to be able to find somebody that can identify this subject and give us the information on him.
Any search warrants that are going to come now that you've released this person's picture? Anything else developing after you put his picture out there today?
Well, we got to just do the investigation at that point in time and see what happens. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.